What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division video. Now this Division video is going to be a retake on our very first episode of the Division 2 podcast. Now in that podcast we were overviewing the topics surrounding the Dark Zone rumors from all of the alpha testing that was done last weekend. So what we're going to do is we're going to completely redo that podcast, completely do a retake, and see if we can bring some clear news and build a conversation within the community and see what everyone thinks and how we react to all these rumors. And who knows, maybe the developers will hear what we're saying in one of these podcast episodes. But with that being said, I am Kamikazevondoom. I will be the host of this podcast. Every episode we will have 3 different guests with me. Today, our lucky people are Demonic, Dead, and Jacob. So if you guys want to go ahead and say hi, say hi.
Hello.
What's going on, YouTube?
Hey, what's up, YouTube?
There you go. Alright, guys, so let's go ahead and just get right into it. So the alpha testing happened last weekend. And obviously there were leaks on social media. We all saw it. We all heard about it. My big thing I wanted to talk about is the multiple Dark Zone rumor that is floating around. In particular, everyone is saying 3 Dark Zones. So I'll probably start. We'll probably start with Dead. What do you think about multiple Dark Zones? What's your first reaction?
My first reaction to the multiple Dark Zones would be, right off the rip, I would say that there's going to be 3 different aspects, or three new different game aspects and playstyles for each Dark Zone. Considering, taking in the different playstyles and game modes we have in this game, they could have taken it from a set mode and kind of incorporated the Dark Zone aspect to it.
Incorporate it how? What do you mean?
Instead of being able to, or having to go into a certain game mode, like Skirmish, Last Stand, something like that, you're going to be able to go to a Dark Zone and be able to do certain game modes, hopefully have like arena style where it's like 4v4s, your
you're saying built
zones,
into the Dark Zone.
Yeah, with Dark Zone rules. Or freedoms, not rules.
Basically like a open world version of Skirmish.
Yeah.
Where it's an event that happens and whatever agents are there when it happens, it's basically PvP.
I would like to see that
sounds pretty
personally,
cool,
so that's what I hope it would be.
I got you. Okay. Now, Jacob, what's your first reaction on hearing about the multiple Dark Zones?
My first reaction on that was probably mostly like, why would they have 3? And then I kind of thought about it. And because I was thinking, the Dark Zone in this game right now is kind of messed up. So I was like, why would you have 3 Dark Zones when you can't handle 1? But then, like Dead said, the different, things they have in there, like the arena or maybe a different event that's going on. I was thinking maybe through, say, level 1 or like Dark Zone 1 up to maybe, like, say there's 10, for example. You go up, the higher you get, the more rewarding your reward's going to be. But the more high of a chance, you're going to have to get into shit like the contamination zones may have hunters in them, or might have high value targets that can literally shoot you and kill the hell out of you instantly. Or you might have to retrieve something just to get in that area, like a key or something that gives you a special reward. Because I think that the way they're going to do it is, if it's going to have multiple DZs, they're going to make you have to work to get the gear that's up there.
Okay, so you're also thinking it would be like a open style PvP thing. I'm getting from both of you, I'm catching like a Destiny vibe, like a Destiny 2 vibe. but like with some PvP into it.
Well,
Where they have like public events, but it's like
Yeah.
PvP. I see what you're saying. Those are both pretty cool.
but
What about you, Demonic?
you get what I'm
Well,
saying.
having 3 separate dark zones would be, it's going to be pretty good, I think. If there are 3 zones, they could probably be level capped. You know, like say one zone is say like city, and it's like for like 1 to 15 or whatever. Like, and it's determined on your dark zone rank and not your character level, or something like that. That'd be probably one way they could go about it. But there were also rumors about on Terry's page about having different events that would cause you to go rogue. So say for example, like you would have to go capture and hold a point or something like that, like a King of the Hill style type event. And there was rumors about that, and like it got shut down pretty fast because, you know, rumors.
Yeah, rumors sometimes tend to be true.
Sometimes, not always. But having 3 dark zones, yeah, that's gonna be really fun. It's gonna bring a new dynamic to the games, one that's gonna be different. I don't know if it's gonna be like four-man squads in all of them, or it's gonna be like one's gonna be like a solo one, or like one's gonna be like groups or like pairs. The other one's gonna be like full-on a 4-man team. Who knows? Find out when the beta comes.
Yeah, my first thought when it first hit was that we would have 3 different dark zones. They would all be relatively the same dark zone, but it would just be 3 different areas. Like maybe one is around, you know, certain museums or buildings or something like that. Another one might be in like a park or some sort of forest location, and then another one might, you know, be in like a neighborhood. They're all the same dark zone. They're just different basically. Right. I'm not putting anything past them. I think that would be the easiest route because it would just be the same thing just in 3 different locations. But what you guys are saying, like your first take is like some sort of like open world cool like PvP stuff. Those are like some great ideas. Now, another part that I wanted to ask you guys, and you guys can just answer whenever you want, is do you think there would be, if there are different dark zones in different areas of the map, do you think there would be a way to travel within those dark zones? Or do you think we would actually have to leave the dark zone and then enter a different one?
I mean, possibly.
What do you guys think?
It possibly could. There was a stream going on during E3, and they were talking about how they went to DC and like talked to the city planners and stuff. And they actually did a lot of work with like city utilities and stuff, and like the guys who plan like their subways and stuff like that. Did a lot of work with those kind of guys, trying to map it out, make it a one-for-one on those. And so, I mean, it's a possibility if they took that much time to invest in doing something like that, then yeah, I would probably say there might be.
That's kind of like what I was thinking. Like, instead of it being like a subway where it's like a fast travel, like the underground in the first division, you're in the subway, but you don't necessarily get like that experience. It's just like a fast travel. And my hopes are more like the actual underground gameplay, where maybe you're rogue in one part of the DZ, you travel underground through the tunnels, kind of like what you do now in DZ 8 and 9. And then as you're traveling, you're still rogue, and then you can travel that way through to a different DZ. Obviously, that would be very risky to do if you're manhunt, because that's basically like long stretches of tunnels. I mean, I'm sure you can change it to however. But that's what I was kind of getting at. What about you, Dead and Jacob? What do you guys think?
I mean, I think that you're pretty close to what I was thinking. One thing I was thinking about that was, like, you know how there's the manhunt system in this, and you have to use that to get it off. Well, what if in the next game, the amount of time you go rogue, would they make it where you have to use your rogue timer to unlock a certain different area in the DZ to get to your timer? Like they might make you go get something else to get to another area. Make it more challenging for you to get that off.
That'd be interesting.
Kind of like splitting, getting a rogue status or manhunt status off, and kind of doing like a sub game to get it off by using the multiple DZs. Is what you're saying, Jacob?
Well, mostly like say you get manhunt, but then say your manhunt goal is located somewhere else on the map, and say that area is like highly restricted and there's a shit ton of enemies. They might make you go like to another terminal and hit that one, then it opens up another section and you can go into that section. Then you can get it off permanently. So that might make it more harder to get off since it's a high risk area. Like say you want to get better rewards, you could do this and get it off, you know, like say you hit rank 5 or some like normal rank 5. And that's your normal timer, and you can get it off normally, but say you don't want to get it off, so you want to go to the other location and hit that, and that opens up a whole nother area, and you could go in there while you're manhunt and get gear, but people still can kill you. So it's like a, you know, high risk thing basically. Either you go get it off and don't die, or you could try go getting good gear and still be rogue and have enemies trying to kill you. I think it's the easiest way to explain it.
Yeah. It's an interesting thought.
I got you, and that'll kind of segue into my next question for you guys. I'll probably just go ahead and tell you what I think first, and then I'll let you guys go at it. That segues right into what kind of rogue system would you guys want? So if there are these new DZs, like would you want like a Rogue 2.0? Would you want like a PvE only Dark Zone? Would you want like a solo only Dark Zone? Or the standard Rogue 2.0? I myself personally would want all 3 Dark Zones to be the same. I want them to be connected. And I want it to be Rogue 1.0. Old style, friendly fire, all that. That would be the easiest way to control it. That would be the easiest way to monitor your servers. I just think everyone would just be happy at going back to the way it was. I'm sure there would be a few people upset because they're so used to toggling up and, you know, no friendly fire and all that. But
well,
that's what I personally think. What do you guys think?
I think it'd be nice if they had a blend of 1.0 and 2.0. So like say like a 2.5 or a 3.0. So you still have the manhunt stations where you go to get your manhunt off, and but you don't have the timer like normal, but their friendly fire is still active. That would be probably a good way to go, I think. That way agents can't just willy-nilly gang up on everybody, you know, and throw like just spam grenades for no reason like they do now. That's just ridiculous. That way it's a little more you have to be a little more cautious in what you do and not to kill it. Like you want to kill the manhunts and not other agents. So if you accidentally hit another agent, then bye-bye, you're going rogue, and then you have to fight other people plus the manhunts that are around the area. I think that would be a good way to go about it.
In my opinion, whenever we had Rogue 1.0, I kind of like the aspect of the goals, but what I liked most out of Rogue 1.0 was if you didn't watch your fire and you just went in willy-nilly, you know, you did go rogue. And I like that aspect due to the fact that it's more fair for all players. Not just, you know, you get this one team that works good with each other, and they're, you know, hard to kill maybe because we all run across groups like that. Well, where it becomes unfair to those type teams that, you know, put the time and effort in to becoming a strong team is they have the whole server killing them with no repercussions for the rest of the players. At times, it's fun, but whenever you get into like a sweaty lobby, it gets really hard to even go rogue, and that's where you're going to get most of your people that's just standing around talking, and that's when the servers start dying out and becoming boring. So I think if we had, you know, like Demonic was saying, a Rogue 3.0, where you still had the goals, and all friendly fire and all that was active again, it add the aspect of the old game style we had that we all enjoyed, well, most of us enjoyed, and still had, you know, goals and all that, so it's still newish, but still very fair to everybody.
I agree. So what do you think, Jacob? What rogue system do you like, or what would you like to see?
Me personally, I think that day one rogue was the best because it allowed players to, like Dead said, to make it even. That way, not everybody is ganging up on other players, and also the fact that it adds that kind of worriness, or something, I guess you could say, to the DC because you don't know who's going to shoot you. Because if you flag up, you know who's going to flag up. Back in the day, you could just run up and shoot someone in the head and kill them. But I just think the original idea is a little better than 2.0.
I got you. So if they did do this, the areas that they were rumored to be were all different sizes. One was said to be really small. I personally don't know. All of us are console players, so none of us have played it yet. But if they are different sizes, with the specs of the game have already come out to where it says online multiplayer up to 50 people. I'm assuming that's per lobby, and I'm assuming that means it would support multiple DZs at once. So my question would be, do you think there would be different dark zones? Like, so you take my idea where there are 3 different environments, and say there are 3 different dark zones. Now, if they were all different dark zones, what would you guys like to see? And do you even think there would be 3 different dark zones? I'll start to let you guys think on that, but I personally think if they had different sized dark zones, and say one is relatively small, kind of like the arena idea earlier from Dead, I would think it would be something similar to that, but with it being so small and knowing that they could possibly support up to 50 people in a server, I think that it would be like a arena style DZ, but it's solo only. So maybe the other 2 servers hold 20 people, and the third one holds 10 solo people. Or maybe both of the other DZs hold a max of 40 and they're just combined. You know, what have you. What do you guys think?
I guess I'll go first. Nobody's talking, so. But I like playing solo sometimes, so I would like to see a solo only DZ, and I know there's a lot of people that would agree with me. There's quite a few people we run across that, you know, prefers to play solo or likes playing solo more than with group, or, you know, whatever their deal may be that day. And to be a solo player and to run into a 4-man group and to try to kill them, or they're farming you, or whatever the deal may be, that gets kind of annoying for solo players. So if you had a specific solo lobby, I think would be really fun and would be appreciated by a lot of people, in my opinion.
Okay, I agree. What about the other 2 though? So do you think it would just be, and then the other 2 would be the same, or? Because I love the idea of having one being strictly solo. I love that idea. But what about the other 2?
The other 2 could be like a normal DZ, or have one that's just normal DZ and one where um, that's more objective based for the DZ.
Ooh,
I guess.
I got you. I got you.
So
So one
you have your-
traditional.
And then one where you can go in there and do objectives or whatever you're feeling that day. So you always have an option if one style gets boring to you switch to another one and keep on enjoying the game.
All right. What about Demonic and Jacob? What do you guys think?
Me personally, I think that'd be pretty nice to have a solo DZ because I know a lot of people like playing solo, and you can't really do that in this. Well, you can't really do that in this patch, I guess you'd say, because everybody's using Nomad. That's the only real way to do it, and you get constant procs. You know, Nomad can really kill you, and there's always constant 4-man groups, like Dead said, that you come across that you can't kill. So it'd be kind of nice to maybe just have a small section, or maybe even a game mode that's just solo only. So like, there's no other players with you, and you can just, once you're dead, you know, and you just respawn and come back, and it's even. That's just what I think. I think it'd be cool to just have multiple types of Dark Zones, like the solo and the multiplayer one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Demonic?
I think having multiple zones and having a variety of choices at your fingertips is going to be really good for everybody. That way it's not just like, oh, I got to go to the dark zone to go do this, you know, like to get my daily or something like that, you know. He's just going to provide you with better, how am I going to put this, more flexibility to just enjoy the game by yourself or with your team, or, you know, just meet random people. Who knows, man? Like, it's just, I think it's just going to be a lot better just because, like, the variety is there. And not just, you're stuck to just the one dark zone, you know, PvE, PvP, all at once, like, it's gonna be, that's where I feel about it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really good. Well, all right. Let's see. Am I missing anything out of the Dark Zone rumors? Anyone have anything? Any part of that, the whole rumor mill about the Dark Zone they want to add?
I think you covered most of the stuff I've heard about.
Same here.
I mean, there's
What
one
about
thing.
you did?
There's only one thing I've
Something I
heard that
know.
you haven't mentioned.
What's that, Jacob?
This is mostly been what a few of my buddies have saying is how is the special equipment weapons going to work, like the big Barrett and the grenade launcher. Like, do you think they would limit how many bullets we get in those per death, or just how long we're in there? Because people are going to be running around with a freaking big-ass sniper and a grenade launcher, and some people may not even use their guns. They might just pull that out and just hit you with that, and you're dead.
Right.
Well, the thing,
I think if they probably anticipated that by probably introducing a PvP modifier for it, specifically for those weapons, just because they are so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, for instance, in Destiny, it's like on a time system throughout the PvP. Well, actually, and the PvE. But you could actually, you know, either make it something you build up to. Maybe, oh man, what if they use it in conjunction with the rogue system? Say you kill 5 players, you get a bullet. They use it as like a
reward?
like a kill streak reward. That would be pretty cool.
Would
kind of
be
like a
And
Call of
that
Duty
way-
based aspect to it.
Well, that, and it shows that you earned it in the Dark Zone. That way it's not given to anybody. There's not just like one person that, you know, just some random Joe walks up to me with a 50 cal and I've been killing agents all day long and he just got lucky. You know, I want that guy to be like that. He earned it. He killed 5 rogues and he's got that bullet. or he's killed 5 agents, something like that.
Mhm.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think that would be actually pretty fair.
Yeah.
You make more of a
I
challenge.
think that was a... Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That would definitely be more of a challenge. That way it's like it's earned and, there's no, room for argument. And I know a lot with this video game is a lot of people like to argue and, voice their opinion and be toxic. But if you kind of like level the playing field at such a neutral level like that, it's kind of hard to dismiss why that guy had 5 50 cal shots. And it's because he just, killed 20 players. Why not? But, so I think we kind of killed that one. That was what Jacob was saying. I know Dead had something he wanted to add too. What was that, Dead?
I done forgot, to be honest with you. I had a phone call I had to take, and it kind of made me lose my thought I had on it.
Yeah, no worries. What about you, Demonic? Any lasting thoughts about these rumors about the Dark Zone?
No, I think we've pretty much covered everything I've heard and that you've heard, and what most of us already know as the general public.
Yep.
It's everything I know.
True.
So it's not much, just about as much as anybody else, but still.
Yeah, well, hopefully the beta comes out within the next month or so, and
Yeah.
we'll learn some more. And worst case scenario, the game comes out in March, so
Yeah.
we'll know for sure by then. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for being a part of that. That's gonna conclude the episode 1 retake for the Division 2 podcast. I am your host, Kamikazevondoom. Here with me today was Demonic, Dead, and Jacob. So thanks for doing this, you guys. I think we had a lot of good points, and hopefully some of the things we say come true. Obviously, not all of it can come true.
We
But
would
alright,
like
you guys,
it to,
if
but
you enjoyed this comment, don't forget to smash that like, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notification on. I'm Kamikazevondoom. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. That was at 58 seconds. Or 58 minutes. Alright. Woo!
So 28 minutes, that's not bad.